What the hell is that? Oh, that's Alice's hand.
Oh, yeah, it's my hand.
I didn't know what it was.
It's my butt crack.
Yeah, I was afraid. Because when I set the thing up to go, it pauses. Alright. Here we go.
Relax. Oh, you were laying there and we were happy.
Oh.
Fuck. No, it's not time.
Get her out of the blasted room!
But it's Stella.
Alright, so we were recording?
We're going.
Alright. No, scoot. Scoot.
It's broadcast time.
Why the hell did you put your camera like that? This
Huh?
is the weirdest angle. I don't want to look at you this way.
There we go, we do that.
I was trying to get closer. Is that okay? Because I'm always so far away, because I'm, like, not on a laptop.
Looks like it's moving.
It's not moving.
Not moving.
Hold on. Cut. Delete. Because it's just, like, so much wasted stuff. Alright, ready?
Okay.
There we go.
This fucking dog. Here we go, what? Are we recording?
We're recording.
Whoa.
Oh, fantastical. Is everybody ready to start the podcast?
Yeah!
Yes, Alex. I'm ready to start the podcast. How about you?
How about you, kids? Are you all ready for the podcast?
Yay!
Well, then, welcome to the Gamer Reaction Podcast. This is podcast number 86, I believe. Though
Oh my
I've
God,
been known
Chris,
to be wrong.
Stop eating.
What are you talking about?
I didn't hear anything. Relax.
All I
and
hear is-
yourself. You're the one eating cereal.
That's all I was hearing.
Well, now it's all I hear from you. So maybe stop doing that.
Oh, I see what you did there. You turned
Yeah,
it
you
around.
like that? Okay, hey, listen. It's the Gamer Reaction Podcast, where apparently all we do is eat food.
Yep.
That
Chris
seems
eats
to be
food
the
loudly.
trend.
It might as well be
And-
true.
So last week was a special deal, mostly for me, but because, well, I mean, because I got to be in New York with you guys. That was a big deal for me. You guys didn't go anywhere, so I think it was probably bigger for me. And also, if you were not able to tune in last week or you haven't heard Podcast 85 yet, which was last week's, which does make this week the 86th, we also had our friend and fan, Phil, over from the UK,
Woo!
visiting New York, so he joined us for the podcast, and that was a good time.
Traveled
Check it out, check
thousands
it out.
of miles just to join us.
Yep. Just
Damn.
for the podcast. So, but now he's back in England, I'm back in Oregon, and then the three of these jerks.
That technically shows more commitment than any of us because he traveled to another continent to be on the podcast.
Hey, man.
What
That's
about
not
just
my
like
fault.
wanting to see the sights of New York City?
The science?
You were just,
Is that what you said? The science of New York City?
no, the sights.
Oh, because science would be a lot cooler. I'm just saying. Like, if I
The
could choose
science of New York
science,
City.
if I could choose science over sight, I would take it any day. And then I could have science sight, like Chris's Deus Ex eyeballs.
Yeah, that's right. Fuck yeah.
How's the game coming anyway, Chris?
It's good.
I expect reports.
Yeah, it's good. I haven't touched it since you guys left.
What?
What are you
I
guys
guess it
doing?
was only like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Pretty much. He was also so distraught by the fact that you left.
It's understandable. I crippled an entire city when I left.
I cried under my bed.
It's true. I'm sure. So no progress, eh?
No progress. Not in the last couple of days.
Well, something that that Chris and I were doing. I don't know if you guys knew this, Diana and Jeremy. Something that Chris and I were doing while I was there was getting old school point-and-click adventure games for the PC, like Scum games and Sierra games and stuff. And what?
What's going on?
What?
What is going on over at Chris's place?
It looked like someone shot him in the head.
No!
What's going on, Alex? I don't know what's wrong with these guys.
Alex
I don't
started
either.
talking and his head just went back as if he was shot in the head. And he was
Well,
just like...
To be fair, he was shot in the head earlier today, and he's still recovering.
Oh
So,
my god.
Anyway, old Scum games.
yeah, Scum and Sierra and stuff, and like I don't know if you guys ever played Beneath the Steel Sky. It's a good old point and click game done by the artist who did like The Watchmen and a number of other, I think, DC comics. I think he did the art. He either did the art or the story for Beneath the Steel Sky, which is pretty cool. It's like a
I have
post-apocalyptic
never heard of this game.
dystopian. Oh, it's good. It's pretty good.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good. And then I got the Quest for Glory games, and I started in on the first one.
Rockin'.
Which for really old fogies like us, you may remember as Heroes Quest 1, which became Quest for Glory.
Quest for poop.
Quest for Poop.
Not really,
Ding!
That was like a word of the day chime right there. Quest for poop. Da-da-da-ding.
Ah!
Yes, there has been Pee Wee's Playhouse playing at my apartment for a few weeks now.
However, more importantly, Alex
Fortunately.
was playing Grim Fandango, or at least trying.
Yes. It was a little buggy at first, but I got it working just fine, and started sinking my teeth back into arguably one of the greatest PC games ever.
And what did you wind up doing to get it to work?
I don't know.
Had you played it before?
What's that?
Had you played it before?
Oh, absolutely. I just haven't played it in probably about 10 years. The problem is that when I got it, it was just giving me issues. But I played it. It fucked up. I quit. I restarted it. Didn't work. It was the same problem. And then I rebooted my computer, and then I played it, and everything seemed to work fine. So hopefully I won't run into anything that's like game crippling later on when I've invested a bunch of time.
Like, can't leave the office?
Right, exactly. It's not time. Go lay down. I'm sorry.
Alex
dog
has
is
a
being a
little
nuisance.
puppy bugging him.
Oh,
Aww.
she's not a little puppy. She's Stella. She's big, and she looks like one of the zombie dogs from Resident Evil. It's actually not true. But she's missing a jaw, so her tongue kind of hangs out like a zombie dog.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. That part is true.
Good girl. So yeah, so I've been continuing on with some of those games, but more importantly, right before. Okay, what was that? Turn your phone off, whoever that was.
Ding.
Before I left for New York, I beat Assassin's Creed 2.
Oh.
And then this morning, I dug into Brotherhood.
Oh, good. Fantastic.
Fun.
It is. I mean, I'm like 2 hours in, so I'm not very far. But I mean, it looks sharper. It plays pretty much the same so far. Like the controls are tight and whatever. And I don't know. It's good. It's really good. But the big thing that made me so excited to play it was I'm now playing on 3 monitors, which is really exciting for me. So I've got my resolution is like 3840 by 760.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's kind of retarded, and there are a huge number of games, I guess, that utilize multi gameplay, And I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that some did, but I didn't realize how many. There's like a bajillion games.
Really? Like what?
Well, all the Assassin's Creed games.
Mm-hmm.
I tested Civilization V, which looks great, and you have you basically have a bigger map view, so you can do a lot more without having to scroll.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else did I test? I tested those two. Oh, here's something I thought I'd never say.
Grim Fandango.
No. Not so much. No, something I thought I'd never say is I reinstalled Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh! You were talking about that while you were in New York, and there was a reason why. Why is that?
Well, Chris and I were taking the train somewhere, and with Phil. I don't want him to feel left out. He was also there. But Chris was on his phone poking around through patch notes, current and upcoming patch notes for Final Fantasy XIV. And he was reading these things to me and showing me, and it was like everything that we wanted them to do, they were doing. Like everything that we ever complained about, they were unfucking.
Yeah, they're basically remaking everything.
Yeah. So, and they haven't implemented all that stuff yet, but they've implemented a good deal of them. A couple of huge things that they're changing is, one, they're abolishing the fatigue experience system, which is that crazy bullshit that everybody was pissed off where, like, if you play it for X number of hours, you get less progress for that character class. They're getting rid of that. I don't know if it's gone yet. I don't know that it's been implemented yet, but they're abolishing that. They've got this weird system where you've got a physical level and then a class rank.
Right.
And it's retarded, so they're abolishing the physical level, so you just have class rank, but it's still in place right now. And a number of other huge things. But anyway, most of that was not implemented yet, but I did reinstall it, updated everything, loaded up the game with the 3-monitor resolution, and with the new graphics card. I feel that merits mentioning. I just recently replaced. I had two GeForce GTX 260s, and I had them SLI linked. And I took the two of them out and replaced them with the Galaxy MDT MX5. And the MDT is multi-display technology. MX5, I assume, is monitor times 5. It can support up to 5 monitors. So right now I've got the 3, and playing it off of that one card is way better than playing it off of those 2 other ones. It is hands down the finest card that I've had. And when I loaded up Final Fantasy, I thought, all right, well, let's test this thing. Let's really put it through the ringer, because that game is graphically very demanding. So I put everything to full, ultra, super high, maxed out everything, and it ran beautifully. It ran better maxed out than the game ran before with my 2 other cards with medium settings.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's impressive.
It's fucking gorgeous.
That's really cool.
Now Alex gets to see it as I have seen it.
Yes, but wider.
But wider, yeah.
It's really neat, like to stand in the middle of one of the main cities and just rotate the camera around and just see how sweeping it is over 3 screens rather than just 1. It's awesome.
Now,
Same thing with Assassin's Creed.
The 5 screens would go, like, do they all go, like, in a line, like, horizontally, or do 2 of them go up or something like that? Or?
Well, there's a few different things you can do. What you do is you've got 4 screens. You can have 4 screens next to each other. And then I believe the 5th screen is like an additional screen. I'm not positive. I haven't tested out the 5 yet. So it could be 1 and then 2 on each side. But I believe it's 4 in a row and then some other one. Although, actually, that doesn't make any sense to me.
I think the intention is essentially to create a fully immersive immersive experience as far as wide as your peripheral, so that you have your five screens all the way even to as far to your left, so that you can see the whatever you're playing as far to your right you see. So it's sort of immersive in that sense.
Yeah, what I've done is I've got the 3 set up slightly angled, at a real gentle arc. So so I've got it like that. But you can also do. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and rescind what I said earlier. It's probably 5 in a row, with the center screen being your main. But you can also do 2 and 2 stacked, like 2 by 2, a square. You can also do that if you've got mounts. Obviously, you can't just stack them on top of each other. But if you mount them on the wall, you can have a 2 by 2, which is pretty cool.
See, I would probably do like 3 in a row and then 2 on top to kind of give you like
a pyramid,
peripheral, and then a little bit of like, I don't know, up.
Absolutely.
Peripheral. So.
And I mean, if I were going to mount these, I would totally do that. But I think I'm going to keep them the way they are for now. We'll see what happens.
We're one step closer to the game dome. I've been advocating for years.
Yeah, seriously.
Goddamn right.
The game dome.
So
somebody had that at an event a few years ago.
Ahead of its time.
Yeah, I think it was at Comic-Con.
Really?
Yeah, it was basically just like a dome that you went inside.
Huh. Well, I know they had something like that at at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
At 2010 New York Comic-Con. They had one for like Red Faction or something.
Mm-hmm.
You could go in there and it was like this whole surround thing, and they like gave you a gun and you just like shoot it. I don't know. It was crazy. It was crazy weird.
Yeah, it was basically like Gamer except with a dome.
Yeah, and that's what I'm working on. I'm gonna have that by the end of the week. I'm just gonna glue a whole bunch of monitors together.
Let me ask you this, Alex.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm all ears.
What if you had 2 of those cards? Could you have 6 monitors? Could you have 10 monitors?
I don't know. I mean, the one card does have 4 mini HDMI's and then a DVI and a DP plug. So I guess, if I had 2, I could plug them all in. I don't know if it would make a complete circle around me. I don't know if that's possible. Maybe I could have 2 rows of 5 stacked.
Oh my gosh!
And then it'll be like a theater. I don't know.
So what do you see when you have them like that? Is it just a full frontal?
5 monitors of full frontal.
Oh wow.
We are mature.
Now, what do you mean? Like just in Windows or in a game?
In game.
Okay. Well, then take for example. Let's take Assassin's Creed, since that's what I've been playing. Now, the center monitor is what you would normally see.
Right.
So there's that, and then to the sides, I don't know how it all works, but it just adds more. It doesn't stretch anything. It doesn't, bend it so it's one normal screen stretched out over 3. It's your normal screen, and then it adds everything in your peripheral vision, which is really cool. It's almost like, it's not a perfect analogy, but it's almost like going from a full screen movie to a widescreen movie. They cut it off, and then they add it in. You can add it back in, basically.
Okay, so it's that instead of you're not seeing what's on the sides of you.
No, it's not like.
I think it says that you are seeing what's on the sides of you, pretty much, right?
No, what it's more like is if you were to, film with like a wide-angle lens, like if you were to pull back a bit, so you could get more of there in there, but you're not actually farther away.
Right.
It's hard to explain. You'd have to see it. And I am going to be doing a review of this over the next couple days, so you will be able to see it, see what I see with the three things, and I'm going to try to do a 5-monitor thing, but I just don't know if I can. I don't know if I have enough space. But I'm definitely going to do the 3, which, if people have the money, I highly recommend. It is so awesome. Like, super cool. There was, just right before I quit playing Assassin's Creed Brotherhood for the podcast, I was, almost at the very beginning. Like, you're in the sanctuary below Montegiori, or whatever, as Desmond, and with the Animus and whatnot. So I've just set up base down there, and I was kind of testing it to see what it would look like on just the one screen, and then see what I was missing on the sides. So I was standing there, and what I could see was Lucy. Wait, Lucy? Is that her name? Okay, so I could see Lucy. She was writing something on a desk, and I framed it just so I was right behind me, and then on the other 2 screens, you could see the other 2 assassin people doing their shit, but you couldn't see them on the main screen. Right. So it's like you'd be missing that. But I can see her over here tinkering with the bullshit, and him over here being a complete prattish Brit guy with his snarky comments. And they were just over there, and you couldn't see them otherwise. So it just kind of makes the room bigger.
Okay.
I don't know how else to describe it without showing you.
All right. I will be getting 4 other monitors now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah!
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, I kind of want it now, too.
I know. It's stupid rad. That really is. But see, the thing is, pretty soon, I'm going to have my PC plugged into my television again. So, kind of like, there goes that. I'm not gonna buy 3 TVs.
Would you rather have that plugged into your television, or would you rather have the 5 thing?
Well, it's tough because they're different. I mean, having the multi-monitor is fucking rad. Like, it's really, really cool. But I like having, I don't know, a 50-inch screen. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of a...
Huh?
I don't know, maybe what I'll do is I'll have the computer plugged into the 3 monitors and just have long HDMI cables and have those in the office, and then have it also plugged into the TV with a switcher, so I can just switch inputs.
Oh, that would certainly be rad.
If I can set that up, I'm gonna set that shit up. If I can't, I'm totally not gonna.
You are the master of cables.
I do command cables like others command things that they command.
Ships.
Yes! Thank you, Chris.
Oh, man. Yeah, that sounds rad. I think I'm going to have to do
it. Those are famous Caravella words. You know what? That sounds rad. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, that sounds too cool for school. I'm going to put them in the closet so I can just surround myself.
Nice. And you know what's awesome about this one in particular is because it's all off of one card. You can already do this with multiple graphics cards. I could have done this with my 2 260s, but well, maybe not 5, but I could have done 3. But this is all off of one card, so that's badass. Yay! Yay! Anyway, I'm done talking for a while.
Oh, no, really. Like, this was
hey, look, I was excited.
I expect to see a video demo
technology.
this next week.
Yes, indeed.
So I'm going to sit here and sip water out of my Clyde Drexler Dairy Queen glass, and you guys talk about stuff for a while. Go. I'm bored already.
I want to see more Stella.
What's that?
What was that?
I want to see Stella.
Oh, Stella is down there being complacent for now.
Aww.
I don't want to get her all riled up.
Even as is.
Sorry.
So, I haven't really been playing games, but I did see X-Men First Class last night.
Oh yeah. I think it's not shitty.
Have you guys seen it?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? Okay, so I didn't hate it. I thought it was good. I thought it was good at like the actors were fantastic.
Whoa. They were fantastic?
Yeah, the 2 guys.
No, I just want to make sure because that's a serious that's a word.
the guy who was playing Charles Xavier and the guy who was playing Magneto, were two were awesome. Were awesome. And then there was like, and then I don't want to ruin anything, but like there were some like side characters that were cool as well. And the action was great. I love the fact that they took the story of the X-Men and they placed it in the night, and they just sort of like a prequel to all of the other movies.
Right.
My biggest issue, however, was what normally happens with these type of movies is that like these producer types, they think that they like know what's like going, what's cool and what people want to see, but they really have no concept of what like the audience wants.
Okay.
And so in this instance, what they did was I just felt like they added characters that were sort of, they had no business being alive in that century or in that
like Fred Flintstone, or like with these actual
that year, like as in like people who aren't supposed to be born yet were there.
What? Well, like Cable, because
they went against canon.
Like
yeah,
Havoc is in there.
Like what was that?
I said Havoc is in the movie.
Like Havoc is in the movie when he's not even born.
Right.
Storm has like a quick little. There's like it's like an Easter egg.
Is she 5? Because she's not old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's like 5 years old or something.
And she pops out of an Easter egg.
She pops out of an Easter egg. There's like Cyclops is there as well. So it's just like these characters where you're just like, why like. This is based in the 1960s, during the beginnings of the Cold War. I mean, freaking JFK was the president.
Was a mutant. He was an X-Men too.
No, JFK was the
But something you have to consider is that like comic books, they don't age all that well. Spider-Man is still. Like, Spider-Man should be dead, like, 7 times over. He's so old.
No, but that's not my point. My point is that if the movies are trying to be essentially a prequel to, like, X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men Last Stand, yes, they are. Because there are characters from those 3 movies that come back and make cameos.
Well, is it made by the same people? Like, is it the same studio that made this movie?
It's the same. It's Fox. The same people. Marvel, Fox, all of those people.
I thought Legendary made X-Men.
I think it might be like a different version of the same people. Like it's the same. I don't know, the same like created universe, but they another studio is producing it. But it's supposed to be the same thing, kind of like when you get a game and you get a sequel and it's done by another games studio, but it's clearly meant as a to fit in the set.
Yeah,
okay.
Like Deus Ex, Invisible War.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So they were like things like that, and for some reason, it just kept bothering me because it was just like
to let go.
I couldn't let go because I was like, why are these people? These people are sperm. They're not even like they're a glint in their parents' eyes. They're not supposed to be born.
They're not people, Diana. They're mutants. They're freaks. Freaks.
Freak sperm.
But
They
do you know where I'm
belong
going
in
with
cages.
this? I mean, like, to be serious for a second, do you know where I'm going with this? It's just like, it just really, like...
Yeah, no, I get it, yeah.
It annoyed me. It really, really annoyed me. I mean, like, I thought the movie was great, but otherwise those things really, really annoyed.
Okay.
And then what was frustrating was, like, watching the making of featurette at the end of the movie and having the producer go... Well, we thought that in this time around it would be a good idea to add some characters and powers that people have never seen before, and like, just shake it up a bit. And it's just like, really?
Well, after X-Men 3 and Wolverine Origins, can you blame them for wanting to change things?
Like
those were atrocities.
There's a part in that of X-Men Last Stand that had me laughing for a full maybe minute, and I had to pause it.
Oh, dude, me too. It was the first 2 hours of the movie.
Oh, bada bing! You haven't even seen it.
X-Men Last Stand?
No. What did I say? X-Men.
You said Last Stand.
Did I say Last Stand?
Yes.
Can we
I can play back the podcast recording.
rewind the tape, please? The one I saw, First Class.
Ah, okay.
That one.
So now you played at an event not too long ago. You played X-Men Destiny, right?
Yes, I did.
I can't remember. Was that supposed to be cool?
Yeah, it was neat. It was still. I mean, that was like maybe about 2 months ago. So like it wasn't a fully complete. Was it 2 months?
Your destiny.
Oh, God, that brings back memories of talking about with Star Wars. Oh, God, that makes me mad.
No.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah, I finally saw that video. What a hot mess.
Oh, man.
So you know what that reminds me of? What you were saying with the producers just like throwing characters that didn't really have any business being in there, but kind of like on the other side of the coin is, I remember hearing when they were making Revenge of the Sith that they were supposed to have a scene where a young Han Solo hands a blaster to somebody, and it never made it into the movie. And I just remember that now. It's like, oh yeah, that was supposed to be in there, and then they didn't do it. So I don't think anyone cares.
I'm glad.
Can someone explain to me the phrase "hands shot first"?
Oh.
Oh. What? No, she doesn't get to see it. No, explain it to her. Don't reward her. She hasn't seen the movies.
Well, maybe she has, but it's just like it happens so fast.
She hasn't.
No, she hasn't seen them.
Oh, okay, then watch the.
No, but
That's not true. I have seen them. I was just so young, I don't remember them much.
well, we should throw it out there since we brought it up on the podcast.
You know what? Sadly, a lot of people probably don't know if they're young enough.
That's true.
Sadly.
All right. So
Is
here's the
this
deal.
when he's
There's
in
a
the
scene-
cantina?
Yes, there's a scene in the cantina on Mos Eisley where Han is talking to Greedo, who is a bounty hunter hired by Jabba to track down Han Solo, kill his ass. Or is he sent there to kill him or to capture him?
Sent there to get the money.
Right.
He's sent there to get the money or his body.
Right.
Right.
One or the other.
Basically. And they're sitting there, and, you know, they basically talk some shit, and Han shoots him under the table. And at almost the exact same time, Greedo fires back. Now, Han shoots first.
That's
Because
actually
he's a cold-blooded motherfucker. He's not actually a cold-blooded motherfucker. But he totally shoots first. And then... Did they actually change it in the remake?
No,
they changed it so that Greedo shot first, so that Han was only defending himself.
I actually have to call you out on this. That's not true. What you just said. Greedo didn't shoot at all in the original.
Right.
He just got toasted.
Right. In the original one,
Greedo says, "I've been looking forward to this for a long time." Han's like, "Oh yeah, I'll bet you have," and then he blasts him from under the table.
Right. You're right.
And then in the when they changed it, they have Greedo shoot first, and they do this little digital thing where they just barely shift Han over faster
it's
than
fucking
he can actually move.
ridiculous.
Yes, you're
Are you
right.
kidding me?
Yeah, so that Han is just defending himself.
And the reason they did it is because the first one they thought it made Han look like a bad guy or like not morally correct, which he
Because
isn't,
he has
and that's
three other
what's likable
movies
about
to
his
sort of
character.
make up for it.
Well, he's a scruffy-looking nerf herder.
Well,
I mean,
He's a scoundrel.
He's a scoundrel. He's supposed to shoot first.
especially at the
Look, he can't be
beginning of
taking
the trilogy.
chances. What's that?
Especially at the beginning of the trilogy, he's supposed to be a little bit more of a mercenary.
That's
You know,
the
he's
first
supposed to be-
scene. That's when we're introduced to Han Solo. That's like that sets the tone for everything, and to change that first meeting of a character is crazy.
And that's when you know he's like a fucking badass.
He's out for himself. He wants the money. He wants to live. He wants to fly around and do some bullshit. That's Han Solo.
That's Han Solo. That's why women love him.
Exactly.
Oh,
If I could just fly around and do some bullshit, I'd have women all over me. But I can't.
Where did you dig up this old fossil?
That's kind of as stupid as like the Steven Spielberg going back on was it the 25th anniversary of E.T. and replacing replacing or removing the shotguns. Remember that?
Right, all the guns. They changed the walkie-talkies.
In the scene when E.T.'s on the bike and with Elliot, and it's like as they start flying up into the air, they digitally removed the shotguns from the police officers' hands.
Yeah, is this really the environment that we live in now, where like we're so terrified to have any sort of violence or indication of violence that we would actually go back and alter classics?
Well, why don't we go back and alter like Shakespeare? Because it's that shit is really violent.
Yeah, it's like now suddenly everybody lives in Macbeth. Because, God forbid we should have people getting cut down with broadswords. Now they're LARPers, and they're holding big foam swords.
Well, what's odd about the Star Wars one is that it makes Han look like he's got some supernatural reflexes.
Yeah, I know. He's the original X-Man.
Yeah.
He's Reflex
He's
Man.
the Space Flash.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, and they went through a lot of trouble to do that too.
Like somebody that was their job. Can you imagine what that dude was like thinking to himself as he was doing this? He was just like, good God.
I would throw eggs at him on the street and be like, hey, you're the guy that made Greedo shoot first. Fuck you, man. Have an egg. Splurk.
Yeah.
At the same time, there's the people that made those Han shot first shirts, and they'd probably walk up to that guy and be like, thank you for doing that. Thank you for making something that I could make a T-shirt campaign to make a fortune off of.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
I want Han at some point to say, hey, could you hand me my blaster over there? And then someone goes, which one is it? And he goes, it's the one that says bad motherfucker on it.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
Actually, I really wanted to see Samuel L. Jackson say, hey man, hand me my lightsaber. Which one? The one that says bad motherfucker.
My friend has a funny story where she's talking about how she works in Times Square, and Samuel L. Jackson's doing a show in Times Square, and apparently she was on the elevator with him, and it was like she was like really quiet and really starstruck. But as they were coming down and coming out of the building, Samuel L. Jackson was standing outside of the building smoking a ciggy, and he was looking at across the street Madame Tussauds, where people were standing there taking pictures of his wax figure.
That's awesome. He totally should have gotten a picture with himself.
It's just like, do you think like it's just like that's like the most surreal experience for him? He's just like, and the thing is that Madame Tussauds like a big fucking picture of him, like at the ad is like his face as like a wax figure.
And by figure you mean his penis.
But
they have a wax replica of Samuel L. Jackson.
And you can get pictures with it.
He named it Nick's Fury.
Yes.
Anyway, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Best movie ever.
Oh, David Hasselhoff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you guys hear about the new Skyrim news?
It's been canceled.
Yes.
What? Nope. No.
It hasn't been canceled, Jeremy. Don't worry. It just got pushed to March.
No.
Don't do that to him. Look at his face. Don't do that to him.
He's like, wait. No, I totally checked this morning.
I know this isn't true.
No, it is not true. Don't worry.
No, what I was saying was the new news. Well, it's kind of like
It's news, but old news. It's like it's new, but it's not.
It was suspected, but it wasn't like confirmed.
It's been confirmed.
It was the fact that you could play as a vampire.
Yeah.
And like instead of how it was in Oblivion, where you get what is it? You get infected by a vampire, and it's just like.
Yeah, you go to sleep one night and you wake up and surprise, you're a vampire.
Yeah.
Right, but nothing really changes until you sleep again. And every night that you sleep in a bed, you get more powerful, but your weaknesses also get intensified as well. So now, like, I slept, like, every night in a bed so that I'd become, like, the most badass vampire ever. But now, if I even, like, glance out a window through a curtain, my head explodes from sunlight. So, like, I walk outside and I have to immediately start casting Cure, like, superior wounds or whatever, or I will die.
Why don't you just go out at night?
Yeah, but that's boring. I want the freedom to do whatever I want, whenever I want.
Well, that's something that you're going to be able to do again in Skyrim, but I guess with more depth. It hasn't been like it's not really like fully explained, but it does say kind of like how you said that every time you sleep, you do get powerful. So there are different levels of being the vampire and different levels of being a I don't know if like your fighting style or your combat changes, but you're still able to like kill fight a dragon. You're still able to live your life as a vampire, and it's like perfectly okay instead of like.
It's less debilitating this time around.
I think so.
And it should be debilitating.
It should be.
You're a fucking vampire. It should be like, all right, you want all these cool powers, that's great, but with great power comes great combustibility.
Oh, I think you did.
Like people should come up to you and be like, "Hey, you don't look so good."
Yeah, yeah, right. Actually, that's the big drive for me to cure my vampirism, to do that quest, is because I can't talk to anybody. Everybody's terrified. I'm like, hey, I need to talk to you about this quest, and they're like, holy shit, get away from me, demon! Except it's like one of the 4 voice actors they hired to do the entire game. So a female orc sounds exactly like the female human chef at this castle or whatever. Like it's
the female orc sounds like female Nord, and male Nord sounds like male orc. They pretty much merged those two, sonically, those two races.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb. Like when I talk to an orc, I expect to hear like, "Hey, I'm an orc" or some shit, but not like, "Ah, hi, I am an orc. How can I help you today?" Well, no. You can go back to being a Nord, is what you can do. What are you doing, buddy?
That's a Stella noise.
That's the dog noise?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a puppy. It also coincidentally sounds like a vampire noise.
Yeah, for some reason.
The other interesting tidbit that I heard about Skyrim actually is no armor degradation this time around. You don't have to repair anything ever. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
You can get married to whoever you want.
I hate armor degradation in everything. I hate it.
I actually liked it in Oblivion because once you became a master armorer, it was great. You just carried around one hammer and you never had to worry. And you could repair stuff to beyond their original condition. Like instead of being 100, they could be 125. I thought that was really cool.
That is cool, but I prefer the alternative.
Yeah, no armor degradation.
Yeah, I just don't want to have to worry about it. Like, maybe if you can, I don't know, maybe they'll implement something where you can do armory, you can be an armorer or whatever, and you have to get, and like, instead of repairing shit, you can actually just make stuff better. That would be kind of cool.
They are doing a lot with, if you want your character to be centered around kind of doing armor crafting and stuff like that, apparently there's a lot of opportunity for that in this game where you get the raw materials and you can create, like, I don't know about if your own molds and stuff, but like it's supposed to be pretty in depth and will satisfy that whim better than just repairing. So.
Skyrim, an equal opportunity employer.
There you go. Actually, you know, that reminds me of something. One of the changes they're making to Final Fantasy XIV is, Crystal, remember, when you have something that needs to be repaired, armor or whatever, you have to get specific materials to repair them, and it's complete horseshit. They're doing away with that so that all you need, there's one universal repair your bullshit material. Which is...
I need to repair my gloves. Okay, well, you're going to need the diamond toothbrush of an ogre.
Yep. And then 80 yards of sheepskin.
Yeah, 80 yards of sheepskin, and we can repair your gloves. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
It's retarded. Yes?
There's or how are we doing on time here? Because there's like a couple of like...
we're probably getting close.
Small little news tidbits that I wanted to like see what you guys thought about.
Throw down.
Well, one of them being that apparently Nintendo was just sued.
Sorry, Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo's not doing very well, but on the other end, they actually are doing well because profits.
Wait, what? Hold on. Why did they
finish my bloody sentence? Let me finish my sentence.
But you're not making any sense.
Cobra! Let me finish my sentence.
Oh my god! All right.
It makes sense when I'm done.
Please go.
They're not doing very well, but on the other hand, they are doing well on 3DS sales. 3DS sales since the price drop has gone down, or has gone up. 200 and like something %. So like, 3DSs are finally selling.
Well, it's because it's reasonable now.
Yeah, it's a reasonable.
Is it like $1.50 now?
160 something.
Oh, whatever. It's close enough.
Depending on where you buy it, I mean, like it's a major price drop, and so they're not. On the other hand, they're not doing very well because they're getting sued by this company named Think Optical. Claims that Nintendo like stole It hasn't been exactly confirmed what they stole, but
some sort of technology?
Yeah, some sort of technology.
They stole the gold. My gold.
Yeah. It's like Think Optical are makers of some sort of a remote called the Wave It. And that like apparently the Wii infringes on like 3 different patents. And not only are they suing Nintendo, but they're also suing Walmart, GameStop, and Radio Shack, and a crap load of other companies.
Why?
Because at least all of those people, in some form or another, have infringed on their copyright.
Aren't they a little slow? I mean, we're talking about a system that came out in 2006 and was announced in like 2004.
Yeah, but like, that's like what a lot of these companies do.
It is exactly what a lot of these companies do. Like it's like patent wars. You see it all the time in with smartphones. Google suing Apple, Apple suing Google, and HTC suing everybody. And it's just everyone has patents, and they can find a way where somebody infringed upon them somewhere. So it becomes this like side game of sue these guys, try to get royalties out of them. And or defend against it and then countersue them. Like right now, Apple has the Samsung Galaxy Tab banned in most of Europe right now due to patent infringements. And of course, Samsung is suing back. And it's the patents. Or the whole patents thing has become just kind of like this, this kind of like legal chess game that's going on the side of like companies trying to make money off the other companies while they compete for the same ideas. And it's just, and they bid on like patent books. Like there was this big like patent, this company that went under, and they had like a whole like portfolio of patents, and all these big companies came together and had like big bidding wars. And then I think like Apple ended up teaming up with Microsoft, and Sony ended up teaming up with Google, and they just went at it to get this like big book of patents, because whatever companies then have those patents, they can then use them to sue the other companies when they come out with the technology that's going to use them, and everyone knows they're going to use them. So they're all going to use them.
Well, like on the other end of that is that a lot of companies, when a company actually infringes on their patent, will purposely wait several years before actually suing the company so that they can then get all of the money that that the company has raised. So like if let's say like oh dear kitty, so let's say that like Nintendo has raised like $100 billion, like has made $100 billion. They're like, now is the perfect time to sue because they have $100 billion and I can go after that.
Yeah, you get a lot more money.
Yeah, you get a lot more money. So people like it's there, but they're also like apparently like this company is also apparently waiting for the Wii U because apparently some of the stuff in the Wii U also infringes on their copyright.
Wait, you can just sit there? Wait, you can say, hey, I'm going to sue you guys, just so you know, but I'm going to wait until you release your next big thing so I can hit you for more. Yep. Is that what I'm hearing? You can do that?
I don't know if you can do that, but like it kind of like it makes sense because you can say it could go for you or it can go against you because I feel like it's up to you. It's your decision on whether or not you want to sue somebody.
Well, of course. You
can wait as long as you want.
It just seems crazy.
There's like a bracket, like a time frame that you can sue somebody. I mean,
well, clearly it's been 7 years, so I mean, I don't know like how much. Like if there is a time frame, it's probably pretty fucking huge.
Well, it's not. I mean, that's not really the issue. It's more. I was more talking about like the Wii U issue. Is that like the fact that they could possibly sit on this thing for like another 7 years and until the Wii U like makes enough profit so that they can sue. I don't know if that's allowed, but I also don't know if it is allowed. It could because it could be allowed because it's up to you, like what you want to do.
Yep. That's crazy.
So that's kind of interesting, and I thought
all those new profits they got from the 3DS straight to lawsuits.
Yeah, which is sad. There's also I don't know if you guys saw, but like Max Payne 3, there was a poster released on that. Rockstar released it, and apparently on the 14th. There's going to be a reveal trailer of the game in addition to an actual release date.
You mean like a teaser trailer or like a real trailer?
No, it doesn't. There was no confirmation on whether or not it might be a teaser or an actual full-on trailer.
Damn it! Now I have to watch it. They got me.
Yeah. They got me. I have to say though, like the art, they need to promote or like raise the artist who draws their posters and stuff, like raise his salary because that's a really pretty poster.
Hey, you don't know? Maybe he gets paid stupid dollars.
He probably does. Does anybody know who the name of that artist is? Because
is he the guy that like does all the Rockstar stuff?
Lately, I think.
And Red Dead and
I don't know about
because they're all very similar styles.
Mm-hmm.
And it's awesome.
Yeah. My God, Stella's horrifying me.
She's horrifying you. Why?
No, I think she's
because of her missing jaw.
Yeah, her missing jaw.
Oh, she can't help it. She's a survivor.
Uh-huh.
She's a survivor.
It sounds silly, but I think she's slightly cuter that way. She's like a space dog or something.
Speaking of survivors, I'm going to take 5 seconds and remind everybody that at the time of this recording, it is the 10th anniversary of the attacks on the Twin Towers in New York City. And everybody should just be aware of that. That's all. Because I don't want to talk about it because it'll just become a downer podcast and you don't want to end on a sad note. But I feel it's appropriate to mention that it is September 11th, 10 years later.
Although they did open the new memorial, which looks really cool, and I want to go see it.
It does. I saw some pictures. It looks very nice.
Yeah.
There's something I wanted to mention real quick. I finished playing Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet. I can't remember if I mentioned. I'm sure I mentioned on the podcast where I got like hours in, like 60% through the game, and then I lost all my progress. And we all know how much I enjoy repeating things. So I put it off for like a month. Anyway, I finally went back yesterday, and I was like, all right, fuck it, I need to play this game, because when you beat it, you unlock a little avatar award. So now I have a little UFO that flies around my avatar. So I did it all for the Avatar Award. But yeah, I beat that yesterday. And then also, this past week, I started playing Crimson Alliance, which, if you haven't played, I recommend it. It's a 3-person dungeon crawler, kind of like Torchlight, but it's really neat. It's a free game on XBLA.
Is it really free?
Well, it's sort of free. You basically get the full demo version. It's you can play the whole game, but you can't play with anybody else. I think some of your skill up like options or like weapon options are limited. You can't play multiplayer, and there are certain challenge maps you can't unlock. However,
so if you're a single player person, it's okay.
It's fine. I don't think your character can reach the full potential, but you can. I believe you can play through the whole game for free. But all the fun of that game comes from playing multiplayer. It's really fun. I was playing it last week, right before I left New York. The last thing I did in New York was I went over to my buddy Eddie's place, sat down, and played Crimson Alliance for 3 hours. And it was really fun. It was really fun. What you can do, however, you can pay money. You can pay 1,200 points, or $15, and get everything unlocked. Like, everything is ready to go. It's the full game. Or you can pay 800 points, or $10, for each of the 3 individual characters. Like, if you only want to play as the assassin, and you have no interest in the wizard or the mercenary, then you can pay $10 and unlock everything for the assassin and all the, all the challenges and multiplayer and all that as well. So, but this is a lot more cost-effective to do the 1,200 points. Anyway, I recommend it. It's fun. And
great stuff.
If you've got a dungeon crawler inside you, it sounds like a parasite.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like Lemmywinks.
Lemmywinks. Lemmywinks.
Then it'll probably satisfy you until Torchlight 2, which I believe is this holiday season. I'm not positive.
Yes. I'm really excited about that. Does that one have multiplayer?
Of course. That's like the big draw for me.
Me
they've
too.
Expanded everything, and now you can play multiplayer.
Awesome. Because sometimes I kind of wish I had a friend to play with me.
Aww.
That's so sad.
Sometimes I kind of wish I had a friend
to play with me. There was a section. There was a sentence.
We should auction you off.
Okay.
Also, on a small note, I have been playing Death Spank: The Baconing.
Oh,
which is great. How is it? It's really great. I will talk more about it next week because there isn't enough time. But I just started playing it today, and so far, yeah, it's.
Well,
it's
I look
Spank.
forward to your in-depth report next week.
Yes, it is Death Spank at the Spankiest.
I watched the trailer for that, and
I have one last thing before if we are going to start wrapping up.
Be swift.
I will say something. I am kind of starting to get worried about Arkham City.
Why are you worried?
Why?
Why?
Because
why?
It just seems as if there are way too many bad guys, and I'm hoping that they're just not filling it up with too much plot.
Now, when you say bad guys, you mean like main villains, like Joker, Penguin, Freeze, stuff like that, or too many thugs?
It just seems like a combination. It's just like it seems like they keep announcing like there are new people that you're going to either be playing as, or you're going to be seeing, or you're going to be doing this, or you're going to be doing this.
So is this going to suffer from Spider-Man 3-itis?
That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about Spider-Man 3-itis. I'm worried about more like Spider-Man 3.
Well,
like where it's just way too much stuff going on, and we're going to be missing out on the basic story elements.
Well,
but it's also a video game, so that means that it could be like just a longer game.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping for. It's, I think they'll give everybody their due. Rocksteady did such a fine job with the first one. I'm going to go ahead and just blindly trust that they're going to make a good game. And then, obviously, I'm going to get it when it comes out, and hopefully I will not be disappointed.
Haha, that's exactly what they want you to believe.
I know! Those
They could
fuckers.
just phone it in and take it off, and you'd buy it anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stella!
I sadly I have to wrap this up.
Stella, come here, Stella. Come here.
Oh, don't do that, Chris, or she will run to New York.
Aww.
I've got a kitty's butt in my face.
I've got a dog slobbering, ready for food. So, and apparently brains.
Zombie.
Zombie dog.
So cute, zombie.
All right, so that's going to do it for this week's podcast. But join us next week for more glorious podcastery. Per the norm, I want to recommend to everyone that you check out our website at www.gamerreaction.tv. Friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel where we've been putting up stuff about things.
There's some new Uncharted stuff on sand art that you should totally check out on our page and on our website that we just posted. If you guys ever get a chance, you should check that out. It's actually really cool.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Until next week, this is your old buddy Alex.
This is
Diana.
Jeremy.
You guys, all right, here's what we're going to do. From now on, because you do this every time.
Because we're in the middle, too.
Yeah, we are.
Every time. I know. I start it, Chris ends it, but here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to go do my business, and then Diana's going to go.
No, but I like mixing it up.
But then you have, this is Diarmy.
That's just the first time in a while, Jeremy, that we've ever done that. We haven't done that.
Especially in this one, because I have to manually switch to me in the video portion, which, I shouldn't have said that. Just an experiment. You'll probably never see it. But anyway. So it takes me a second to get my face up so I can say, this is Jeremy.
Well, then we're gonna implement some order here.
Some order.
I'm gonna go. Diana's gonna go. Jeremy's gonna go, and Chris is gonna finish us off all over his face. Wait, what? Anyway.
Okay.
Sorry, that was inappropriate. Oh, buddy Alex.
This is Diana.
Oh, my video froze. This is Jeremy.
Oh, wow. And this is Chris. And this is Chris.
Cyber Chris.
Reminding you that Stella's a puppy.
Oh, she is
Oh, we love Stella.
Yes, we do. We'll see you next week.